I'm talking about MA-rated, 106 minutes, intriguing, entertaining, mystery, fantasy thriller, and the character of Mona Lisa, well, her name is really Mona, but it's Mona Lisa Lee, played by Jun Jong-seo. We get to see her wearing a straitjacket, locked up in a padded cell in a United States psychiatric institution for younger people. She's regarded as violent, a severe schizophrenic, and she's been there for 12 years. She's only 22. But after a bloody incident, she breaks free. It's a night of a full moon, and she makes her way to nearby New Orleans. That's where she interacts with the flotsam and jetsam. By then, she's already shown that she has a supernatural ability to make people do what she wants them to do merely by looking into their eyes. And that's how she comes to the aid of a stripper, Bonnie Hunt, played by Kate Hudson, who's being pummeled by another woman. Hunt takes this young lady, Mona Lisa Lee, under her wing and is soon using Mona Lisa to her financial advantage. Not Mona Lisa's, but Hunt's financial advantage. And Hunt has this 11-year-old son called Charlie, played by Evan Whitten, who does not approve of her mother's way of life. Charlie soon befriends a naive Mona Lisa, but all the while, on Mona Lisa's tail is a local policeman known as Officer Harold, played by Craig Robinson. So this film, Mona Lisa and the Blood Moon, concentrates on an unusual titular hero and her misadventures. And the screenplay and the direction are from Anna Lily Amirpour. It's like, I reckon it's a bloody little charmer, quite frankly, because it often throws up the unexpected, and it's all the better for doing so. The characters get in all sorts of strife, but there is warmth in the screenplay. And I reckon that the vacant look that Jun Jong-seo has adopted suits her characterisation as this young 22-year-old who more than once declares that she doesn't want to go back there, talking about the institution. And notwithstanding her ability to inflict harm, I reckon we, the audience, are on her side, are we not, Dave?
Oh, definitely. This is one of those films I think that's absolutely destined to become a cult classic. This is an exciting director. Of course, her film 8 years ago, A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, was one of those movies that just, I think, stunned a lot of audiences and were really keen to see where she went from there. The Bad Batch was the follow-up, which wasn't a great film, but I think this does show that we have got someone genuine here that knows their craft, but also knows how to make a film that just throws up unexpected moments after unexpected moments for the audience. And this is one of those films where it seems to be coming out and nobody knows anything about the film. I hadn't even watched the trailer for it before we went along to the screening of this film, and I think that actually works in its favour because it absolutely stuns you and you enjoy watching it because it's not something that you've seen 3 or 4 trailers for before you walk into the cinema to watch it.
Well, I'm a big believer in not watching trailers, to be honest, Dave. I mean, at times you can't help it because you're in a cinema and they show it. I've been known to close my eyes and put my fingers in my ears because I don't like it. I want to go in there and be wowed. And you're right, this film does that. By the way, I should say that we're given the impression that this woman is a Korean immigrant to the United States who has been abandoned. That's sort of the background to it all. Did you like it, Greg, or not?
Yes, I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I wasn't sure where it was going when it started. It looked like it was going to be a horror movie with that opening scene set in the asylum there, but it becomes much more of a character study. Most of the characters are unlikable and flawed, but they're very interesting and they're well developed there. And I like the unpredictable narrative arc that the film follows. Kate Hudson, I thought, was great as Bonnie, almost cast against type here as the selfish stripper who only befriends Mona to exploit her talents there. And I really liked Evan Whitten as her son there. He showed a maturity beyond his years there. And the film was very evocative of New Orleans nightlife there. It had that sleazy, seedy feel to it as well, thanks to the cinematography there. I thought the music score was excellent as well, and it drove along there. So, yeah, this was a surprise. I didn't know what to expect going in there. I didn't know much about the film. or anything, and it's a complete surprise, and it's thoroughly enjoyable. And the longer it goes on, the better it got, I thought.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I had the same impression. I got a lot out of it. And what about the character who is the guy she meets outside the convenience store? What a hoot, the drug dealer come DJ. I thought he was terrific. What's his name? Fuzz, I think that's his character name. Peter, did you enjoy it as much as the rest of us?
I liked the film. I think it had a good story arc.
No. I liked the film. It's sort of coming down from we really enjoyed it. You didn't really enjoy it?
No, I didn't say that. I said I liked the film. It had a good story arc, and I liked the way the plot developed. I think, for me, it was missing a bit of backstory about the Mona Lisa character. I thought suddenly for her to emerge with these special powers, I thought, well, I don't know. I would like to have some sort of brief explanation about that. I like the writer-director's one of her previous films, The Girl Who Walks Home at Night, because that had such a special atmosphere and resonance to it. I think this one doesn't quite have the same thing, even though the New Orleans setting is very evocative, if you like, with the characters involved. Yes, I did like Kate Hudson, and her character is well developed. It's interesting to see, as you mentioned, the character of Fuzz, played by Ed Skrein. Originally that was going to be Zac Efron's role, but he turned it down. And to some extent I can possibly understand that, because it's not a terribly winning sort of role. Look, overall, I did like the film. I would have liked a bit more backstory. I thought the overall story arc was well made, well presented, but I suppose I'm not waxing as poetic about the film as you both are.
No, correct. I mean, look, there's this sort of... What about the sort of dog-at-a-bone mentality that Craig Robinson inhabits, with his portrayal of the policeman on the hunt? I thought that was an interesting character as well. And Corey Roberts, larger than life, the strip club bouncer Snacky, that's another character. They are real characters, aren't they, Dave? The film is populated with plenty of them.
They are, and I really applaud the casting in this film as well, because there's some brave choices. Like you said, Craig Robinson, he's known for his comedy, and let's be honest, he's known for his bad comedies, really. So it's a good casting because he works in the role, but it was a very brave casting choice. There's also a very brave casting choice, of course, as well, with Jeon Jong-seol in the lead role, because she's not a known name in America. She's done a few Netflix series and films and things like that. So even that is a brave casting. A lot of people in the United States go to see movies based on names being in the film. So very brave choices, but they all pay off. And I think we've also got to give credit as well to Evan Whitten, who plays Charlie. He's fantastic in this film. He's one of those child actors who's probably not even old enough to go and watch the film that he's starring in, but brilliant performance.
He's got vulnerability, Dave, hasn't he? He's got vulnerability and spirit, both of those things, and he does that. He's a really talented young kid, isn't he?
He is, and yeah, I always love that when there's actors who are so young that they actually can't buy a ticket to go see the film that they're in, but they do such an amazing job. And I've spoken to directors over the years, and that adds another element to the film as well, because the director almost in a way has to shield that child actor from some of the things that's happening in the film, even things that are happening in scenes that they're in. So yeah, it's always interesting when you've got a child actor in a film such as this that's for an adult audience.
I was thinking of Jacob Tremblay in Good Boys.
Yeah.
Where he wasn't even old enough to see the film that he was in, but it had some raunchy material in it that was probably beyond his years.
Greg, the other thing that struck me, the visuals, the production design in this, it really showcases sleaze and 60s chic, and I think it does it really well. There's a style about this film. Have you ever been to New Orleans or not? And the
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I mean, I instantly recognised it, and there is this sort of permeation of the sleaze factor there, isn't there?
And the glittery lights and the lights, but the sleazy side of it as well, with the strip clubs and all that kind of stuff. I thought it caught it really, really well.
Yeah, there was that scene, that fluorescent, T-shirts and all that sort of stuff. That's where I was sort of thinking of the 60s. All of that, I thought it's stylish. Peter, did that strike you as well?
Yeah, the production design, the stylish quality of the film is certainly there. But I wasn't quite sure how that fitted into the central character and her special powers and her relationship with Kate Hudson, even though that was reasonably well developed as the film progressed. I think there are some contradictory elements in the film which I thought wasn't quite adequately resolved, but nevertheless a good film.
Well, I mean, it's a quirky fairy tale. It's a twisted fairy tale, with light and shade, and I agree with Greg. It certainly grew on me the longer it progressed. Let's kick it off with you, Greg. Score out of 10, please.
8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Dave?
I'm going a bit higher. I really liked it. I'm giving it 9 out of 10, and we should mention the soundtrack as well. An amazing soundtrack of underground indie artists from the United States.
No, very good. I'm giving it a 7.5 to an 8. And Peter, what about a 7 from you, maybe?
No, I'd give the film 6 out of 10 because I think it's missing some backstory.
Wow, okay. It's all right. We can start off this segment very, very well. Peter's wrong. It's good. Fantastic. Good stuff, Peter. Nice start.